Hey, you guys, welcome back. This is Shae Davis. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the chat room. If you're new here, we handle business over here first. We're going to start off. We're going to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like the video, and let's get right to it. I want to talk about tonight. I was thinking, and I want to talk about why is it when someone cheat on you that you feel the need to want to protect that person and maybe even keep it from the rest of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like keep their dirty secret. I don't know why we feel obligated to do that. I mean, who told you you had to do that? I mean, I know like you don't want the embarrassment, especially when it's a husband-wife situation. You don't want the embarrassment for the family. You don't want the embarrassment for him or her, whoever cheated. You just don't want the embarrassment even for yourself. Especially if, you guys were considered like a power couple or, other couples sought advice and things like that from you guys. So when things come tumbling down, why is it that we do more protection of the person who has violated the marriage than we do for ourselves? I don't know what that's about. I think from my perspective, I think when I did that, I think I was trying to protect my children, trying to keep a safe face for my children and keep our family together. And all the while trying to do that, I was just harming myself. When I say harming myself, I was like falling deeper and deeper into sadness and depression and so far out of touch with, my reality. Yeah. I'm so far out of touch with my reality that just one day I just broke down and I've always been known to tell my kids the truth. They know it. I would tell them the truth about things and I'm just real open like that. And one day I just took them to eat and I just told them. I just told them literally about the affair. I told them, how I need to figure this out and how to get up and get out and, that kind of thing. And I think it was a lot. But I had been unhappy for so many years, so many years. I was so unhappy on one birthday. I was saying, because I held this for years, over 5 years. I held that information, and I was just so unhappy, so very unhappy. And I tell you what, man, I just remember one of my birthdays, I was determined. I said, I'm going to be happy no matter what. I'm going to fake it. I'm going to put on a smile on my face. And all the time I'm thinking, I'm trying to make myself in my own head be happy. And because I was determined and I got up focused, I'm going to be happy today, period. And when on my birthday, toward the end of that day, and I remember my oldest son coming to me and said, Mama, you haven't been this happy in a very long time, Mama. I haven't seen you this happy in so long. I wish every day could be your birthday. Man, I cried and I cried. The reason why I cried is because I'm thinking this entire time that I'm putting on a happy face for them. But there's one thing about your kids can read you. Your kids know they spend a whole lot of time with their mama and they know when she's not happy. And that just made me even more sad. It just made me even more sad because I'm thinking to myself, all this time they've been knowing I wasn't happy. Like they knew I wasn't happy. And I'm thinking, kids, they don't know. Kids, they know. They are in tune with everything going on. And whether they know the details of things or not, they are in tune. And I think that was a turning point for me. I know that was a turning point for me because I said to myself, I got to get out of this and I got to get up. And I got to get on my own 2 feet. And I got to move forward. Because I can't live the rest of my life with somebody like I lost respect. And that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing in marriage. Is respect. And so I had lost respect for him. I mean, like everything I sacrificed. Because you start to think back. Because you're not sacrificing to get anything forward. But I had to start thinking, that's how I was thinking. my head was rolling back about from day one, all the things I sacrificed. Like I was making my career. I was just like at a very good very young, and making good money. Um, like money that I would have to have made, like being 10, 20 years into the game. I was making that kind of money in my 20s. And so when we met, I was making more money than him. And I gave that up so that he can follow his career. And, I was just thinking about all kinds of stuff. And so I kind of put myself, all these things, decisions that I made, conscious decisions. And doing those decisions, I didn't never plan for what if something happens and we're not together anymore. I never planned for that piece. I never planned for, and nobody ever plans for a divorce. And so I never planned for that. Never thought on the lines of that. And so as I was pulling myself out of, and I would say society, because like physically going to work, like in a corporate America, and just was being more secluded at home with the kids. And I was happy like to raise my kids. I've always just wanted to be a hands-on parent, and I got an opportunity to do that. So I have no regrets. But I do think that I could have started like a business from home or something to that nature so that I could have income. So when this thing happened, I would have had something to fall back on instead of starting from bottom. And when a person is narcissistic in their behavior, and this is what I don't understand about narcissists, and I probably would never understand because this is not my psyche. But my thing is, if you've built a family with somebody, you had to love them enough to have children and build a family and say, I do, and all of that. And if that ever comes to an end, and especially if it's your wrongdoings that brought it to an end, I don't understand why you would want to make it harder for the person that you've already hurt. Like you've already cheated. You've tore the, because of that action, there's consequences and things that trickled and fell apart just because of that choice that you made. Why would you want to make it harder for me to move forward in my life when I've been nothing but good to you? I don't get that part. I don't get that part. That narcissistic behavior, I do not get that. I would rather even though you did me wrong, I would rather for you to walk away whole and for me to walk away whole. Because when our kids are with you, I don't want them to be burdened by anything. And when they with me, I don't want them to be burdened by anything. Not worrying about a bill, not worrying about anything. So I don't understand, like when people have created an offense, and then they want to compound that offense by trying to hold you down, especially if they were the primary financial provider. And I guess I don't understand that because I don't think like on a narcissistic, way. I don't think that way. But I would think that because I'm whole, because I'm healthy, because even when I was going through, even when I asked him to leave and things, I still wanted him to be okay. And I wanted to be okay. Financially, emotionally, the whole 9 yards. I was just done. You know what I'm saying? Like I was done. I was just going through the motions for so many years, just going through the motions. So by the time he left, I was mourning the loss of that relationship and mourning the loss of what I had in mind for my children and for our family. And so it took me a little bit to get out of that. But what would take even more so is because he wanted to keep his thumb on me, like keep me down to a certain extent. And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand. To this day, I couldn't understand. I can't wonder why when, it wasn't my fault. I didn't create the offense. So I would just say, if you're the person who would create the offense, don't try to make it hard for someone else to move on with their life when you know you've made a choice. If you've made the choice to cheat, if you've made the choice to step outside of your marriage, if you've made the choice and have offended your spouse or your partner, why would you want to make it harder for them to move on? Because you did. Obviously, you didn't want them. If you made that kind of choice, you knew the consequences. You're not playing a child's game. You're playing an adult game, and you know exactly what you were doing when you did it. And you had to know that it was a possibility that you would get caught. And when you got caught, you should want that other person to be okay. You should want them to stand up for them, especially if they got your kids. If she got your kids, you should want her to demonstrate something positive for your kids. And I don't understand why some men don't want that. Like, why would you want your daughter to see a strong example of a woman? You wouldn't want that to happen to your daughter. You would be the first person giving her advice about leave. But yet, when you do it, and I try to leave, then let's try to hold let's try to hold me back from leaving. Not let me do everything financially like he can puppeteer me. But you can never hold somebody who's good down. And in hindsight, you're going to regret every single decision you made. Because when you have a ride or die, you have somebody who's riding for you for real, those are hard people to find. I mean, those are hard, keep looking, hard people to find. When they really, really got your back, I promise you, you're going to really, really miss them when they gone. You're going to really, really miss them, especially since you're the one who created the offense. And then you try to even make it harder for them to get up. And I can tell you this, I can tell men this. The harder you try to make it for them to get up, the less likely you have a recourse, like to try to come back and mend and make things better. I tell you that right now. Well, if you know you did the offense and you've created an offense against a woman, you cheated on her, or even vice versa, she cheated on you, don't try to make it hard for somebody to leave you. You made a choice. The best opportunity you have for getting that person back is for you to be agreeable to the things that they said they need. They need financial security, they need child support, they need whatever that is they need. You need to be as agreeable as possible. And you don't need to try to puppeteer and control the money aspect of it, especially if you got kids. And even if you don't, if she's used to a certain lifestyle, then help her get back on her feet. That's what I would recommend. And because you did things like that, we sit back and we think about, how you treated us, doing it, all that. And odds are, if you treated her like a man getting out of it, the likelihood of you being able to become a man again, if you decide to do right, I would say is you probably got a 90% chance of being able to walk back. Depends on how you handle that thing with dignity coming back, if that's what you want to do. Because I tell you, oftentimes people regret it because they left what they had at home thinking that it's going to be bright on the other side, and when you get out there and realize it's not bright on the other side, then guess what? Most people want to go back. But a big factor in you going back is how you treat that person on their way out of your life. You treat them good, dignity, respect, trying to make sure that they good. I promise you, she'll remember that. But she also gonna remember when you didn't. She gonna also remember you trying to keep your foot on her neck and trying to keep her down. She gonna remember that part too. So you have to determine how you want to be remembered. And please know, you might not want it right now, but that side thing you got going on, when they get old, you want to go back. So my recommendation is, if you create this fence, then be just as big of a man to do the right thing, getting out of that. And you probably, the odds of you being able to go back, it's going to be much higher than it would be for you to try to keep your foot on her neck. I'm just saying. All right, you guys. You guys go ahead and have a great evening. I love y'all. Thank you guys for watching. You guys, I know I appreciate you. If you came in late, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you in the room, we in the room. And share the video if you think someone else can hear it. Okay? Or should hear it. All right, you guys have a good night. Love you.